All right, so before starting this video or taking any notes on this video on how to find midpoint, make sure you check with Mr. Schulteis during class that your answers for problem number 1 and 2 are correct. So just raise your hand or unmute and ask questions during class to make sure that you're getting the help you need and that you're answering those first 2 questions correctly. All right, the second part of the lesson is finding the midpoint between 2 points. So the midpoint is halfway between 2 points. So if we're finding the midpoint of this segment, if I eyeball it, it looks like it's going to be somewhere around here, okay? Now, I can't really be sure unless I know this full length and go halfway, okay? So there's a couple ways of doing this, but I'm going to try to show you the most efficient way. All right, if I identify this ordered pair right here, this ordered pair is left 5 and up 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's left 5 and up 4. Okay, that's point, we'll just call it point A. Okay, the second point, point B, is right 5 and down 2, so that's a -2. Now, in order to find the midpoint, what we want to do is we want to average the x's and average the y's. So the formula is your first x value plus your second x value divided by 2 as your first x value of the midpoint. Your y value is going to be the y1 plus the y2. This one should be an x2 here, sorry about that. So your 2 y values added up and divide by 2. This is finding the average of our x's and the average of our y's. All right, so in order to do that, we're going to take our x values here and add them up. So -5 plus 5 and divide by 2. Okay. Then we're going to take our y values here, add them up. So it'll be 4 plus a -2 over 2. Okay. And we just simplify from here. So -5 plus 5 is 0. And 4 plus a -2 is 2. So 0 divided by 2 is 0. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the midpoint of that line segment is 0, 1. So my eyeballing was correct. I correctly identified and kind of guessed what that midpoint was, but I confirmed it using some algebra. So what you want to do is you want to re-listen to this if you need to, or take some good notes on it so you can practice problem number 3. Okay, and this is the formula you want to write down to know midpoint and figure out midpoint. All right, I'm going to move on to one more example before I stop this video, and that is to help you with problem number 4 in today's assignment. All right, so what if I'm not given a graph? Well, the same thing is true. It's actually, in my opinion, a little bit faster and easier because we don't have to worry about identifying the ordered pairs for each point. We use the same formula for midpoint. The first x value plus the second x value divided by 2. The first y value plus the second y value divided by 2. So we're averaging the x's, we're averaging the y's. So we do -9 minus 7 divided by 2. -9 minus 7. Sorry, it's plus a -7 is what it is. Divide by 2. And it's 4 plus 7 divide by 2. 4 plus 7 divide by 2. And we just simplify. Okay, so -7 is going to be a -16. And 4 plus 7 is going to be 11. Still divide by 2. And now we simplify. So -16 divided by 2 is -8. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So my midpoint, -8 and 5.5. Okay, so you'd probably want to check that just to make sure it makes sense. So if I went -9 and 4, so that's -9 would be right here, that'd be point A. Point B is -7 and 7, so -7 is a little bit to the right of the first point and a few above it, so that's point B. So then if I want to check my midpoint, okay, I'd go, yep, -8 is halfway in between, and then 5.5 is right about there. seems to be a correct answer. Okay, so I can trust my algebra as I work through. All right, so your objective now is to complete number 3 and number 4 on your assignment. And I actually have a challenge problem at the end where you have to use this formula kind of backwards to figure out what the endpoint is. So if I give you a endpoint and the midpoint, can you find the following, can you find the other endpoint of a line segment? So go ahead, you have to get through problems 1, 2, 3, and 4. Check with Mr. Schulteis, and then you can challenge or try the challenge problem at the end for some books. Good luck. Good luck.